Welcome to Capture the World with Dee. Interviews with companies and individuals to learn more about digitally capturing the built world. Video, drone, 3D tours, pictures, panoramas, and more. And now your host, a social influencer and community activist, Dee Johnson.
Good morning, everyone, and welcome to Capture the World with Dee. I'm your host, Dee Johnson. My guest today is the CEO of Rela, a software platform that provides a better way to market your listings by easily creating beautiful single property websites to generate leads. So without further ado, please help me welcome Mike Land. Good morning, Mike. Thanks for joining me today.
Morning.
It's nice to have you.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Yes, of course. So your product is very popular, and I have to give a shout out to Peter Kazimirski, who's a big fan of yours from Homebird. So why don't we start off by having you tell us a little bit about your background, your history, and how you founded the company Rela.
Yeah, so I actually was a real estate agent from 2005 to around 2009. And during the financial crisis, there were no jobs in real estate or finance, obviously. So I transitioned into technology and started a marketing and software development agency. We worked with all different types of industries and companies, from federal government, Fortune 500, to small and medium-sized businesses. And we were doing a lot of work in real estate just because I had connections into that industry. And we noticed at that time, around 2014, 2015, that all of the marketing platforms that existed specifically for single property websites at that time really looked outdated and weren't using the latest and greatest design trends and technologies. And we were doing that every day for our other clients in different industries. So we decided that we should bring the real estate industry up to speed in terms of the quality of marketing materials that they could be putting out there to use to help sell their listings. And we felt it was important to help agents look like they're spending a lot of money on a professional marketing team. Mm-hmm. But in reality, the cost should be low for our customers. So it's cost effective, there's ROI on it. And then on top of that, we wanted to make sure that the system was easy to use, very intuitive, and real estate agents and real estate media professionals on any range of the technical spectrum in terms of their capabilities could use it and pick it up quickly and figure out how to get up and running. So yeah, that's kind of how Rela came to where it is today. Obviously, we're not running the agency anymore. Our team, we transitioned full-time into Rela. As soon as we launched, we had great feedback from real estate agents and real estate media professionals, real estate photographers. So we've been doing this full-time since 2016 now. So
your background is really interesting. So you're financial, technical, real estate, marketing, websites. So you're like this genius that does it all.
I wouldn't go that far, but yeah, I mean, I had a lot of experience in all of those kind of different industries. I even dabbled for a while in media production, and doing a lot of photo editing, video editing for some action sports brands and lifestyle brands. So I understand from that technical side in terms of the media management stuff. Some of the pain points that needed to be solved, and a lot of our team members have experience in real estate and media as well. So we kind of bring all of our heads together and try to come up with solutions that we know exist. But we also talk to our customers every day and get their feedback, and we want to learn what works and what doesn't, and what would help them in their daily activities to make their workflows more efficient, make their customers happy. So we're constantly evolving the platform, adding new features, making improvements, and really just listening to our customers. So
that's such a great story too, because creating a product that out of the need that you saw in the industry, and then listening to what people's needs are as you continue is just so important.
Yeah, it really is. I mean, we wouldn't be here today if we didn't take any of our customers' feedback seriously and actually implement some of the suggestions that
Yeah.
we get. And so, really, what we'll see today is the majority of those features in there are based off of customer feedback, because we started with the very first simple version back in 2015 and did a soft launch, and quickly realized that while we hit the mark in a sense, there was a lot more to build from there to really kind of get us to where we are today. And so it's really important to us to have that open line of communication with our customers.
Yeah. And I can tell you as a layperson, creating a website that looks good is like so hard. There's really an art form, and there's a lot of science that goes into the design and all of that. So yeah. Okay. So.
Yeah. And I think, our main goal when we started was to allow an agent to produce a website to market their listing, but that website looked like they had a professional team design it and build it. But it only takes the agent or our customer 5 minutes to set up, right? And it's hassle-free, stress-free, and we make it as easy as possible. So.
Yeah, that's so key, to look good but have minimal effort to get there.
Yeah.
All right, let's talk about Rela. Why don't you tell us what it's all about, what it does?
Well, again, and I touched on this a little bit already, but we built Rela to allow agents to really put out professional quality marketing materials. But as soon as we launched the platform in 2015, we immediately got inquiries from real estate photographers asking us if we had a solution that they could utilize to basically hand off these websites and use these websites as part of their delivery workflow to the agents. And so we got our team together and started building out the white labeled real estate photographer platform on Rela. And that came pretty quickly after our initial launch, just because of the volume of requests from real estate photographers. So on that side, we not only focused on the quality of the deliverables with the property website and the marketing materials that you can create, but we really put a focus in terms of the workflow efficiencies that we can bring to photographers on a daily basis, because we understand that photographers are out there shooting all day, editing. The last thing they want to do is now jump into a complicated system that they have to go through multiple steps to try to just get the photos and the final product to their agent. So what we'll be looking at today is some of those workflows that we've built in to try and bring that efficiency in, and that'll include the property websites, media delivery, and then we also have a booking, billing, and scheduling system on the back end for the photographers. So on the photographer side, it's a little more complex in terms of what features exist for those customers. But at the end of the day, we try to make it a very simple kind of user experience. Again, just to save you time on each shoot, right? And you're doing a ton of shoots each week, each month, and if we can save you even just a couple of minutes for each shoot in that workflow, then that adds up. So I should go ahead and share my screen here. Before I jump into the back-end demo, this is you can access some of the information regarding the photographer plan at relahq.com/photographers. This kind of just gives you a basic overview of what the photographer platform is here. We've obviously got the property websites. We've got about 20 different templates that we have available at any time. We're always updating those templates to keep it fresh. We remove the old stale templates and add new ones every few weeks. So you always have something fresh and new to deliver to your customers. Media delivery, obviously, that's a key component to the photographer side. We've got auto sizing for your images, different, you can deliver different media, so photos, videos, 3D tours, floor plans, all of it, anything that you would be creating and needing to get into the hands of your agents, we support. And then we've got our booking and payment system, which allow your customers to book a shoot directly from their dashboard. We have got real-time calendar availability and a handful of different options that you can choose from so that it fits your workflow. And then we've also got a print designer, so you can design brochures, flyers, social media posts, and we'll show this in the demo. But it's a really handy tool just because it's so quick and easy to get this set up, and you can actually deliver high quality print collateral to your agents. And then we've got a ton more features that we'll cover here as we go through the demo. So let's just jump into it. So usually when we're demoing the system, we like to start by just showing what the workflow is in terms of adding a property website, just to show you kind of how quickly that goes, and then we can talk about some of the features along the way. So we'll start with that. We're looking at right now just our bulk property management dashboard, where we can see all of our listings that we have in here with all of the agents. So pretty basic. But if we wanted to add a new property, we just click Add Property. We'll enter in the address of the property in, and we click Go. From there, it'll take us into the details editor. And we actually will pull in some of the details for you. So you've got, our beds, baths, square footage, your bill, some of the details that you're just not going to remember off the top of your head. Those will be imported for you.
Oh, wow. How did it know that? How does it know that?
Well, we pull that from public records. So we've actually cross-referenced multiple sources to ensure that there's a match between those. In the rare case that there isn't, we just leave that information blank. We're pretty in tune with, kind of the mindset of the client, which is the realtor, right? And so usually if there's incorrect information on their listing, they tend to stress out a bit. So you can actually turn this feature on or off if you don't want that import to happen, but it's just kind of a quick time saver just for these kind of details in here. And then we'll populate a default description in for you. Of course, you can come in and change this, and then, check off some amenities and get this set up the way you want. The next step would be usually uploading your photos. So you can upload as many photos as you want. We actually recommend you upload your print resolution size, because the system will then take care of the automatic resizing when your customer logs in and downloads the image sets. And so you can, you'll have your original high resolution available, and then you can actually customize your MLS size on a per agent basis. You can set it globally, and you can even change it on a per property basis if needed. And then you've got some other size options there. So again, this is just a bulk uploader, pretty straightforward gallery kind of functionality here. You can drag and drop to sort. You can add descriptions, and you can hide images. Agents can favorite images and download their favorite sets there. And you can do stuff like sorting by file name, date taken, favorites. So a lot of different options here. We also have a multi-gallery feature, which is fairly new. We launched it a couple months ago, but it's nice because you can actually group your photos into different galleries that display on the website. So for example, if you've got maybe a neighborhood set of photos that you want to display, or the agent wants to display there, or we can do interior, exterior. So just a nice additional feature that you can use. Once we've got the photos in there, let's head over to the video. So this is pretty straightforward. Just upload your videos here. You can either upload this to the cover video section, which will play automatically in the background, and we'll take a look at a sample of that in a second. Or we can upload them into the standard kind of video gallery in-page gallery here. We've got visibility for branded, unbranded. Um, that's going to work with the MLS compliant link that we provide you for the property website automatically, so your agents can drop it into the MLS. And then you can even do hidden. So if there was maybe a video that you didn't want displayed on the website, but you just needed to deliver to the agent, you can set that to hidden, and they can still come in and download this. When you're adding a video, you can use your own Vimeo or YouTube link, or you can upload it directly from your computer. The nice thing about this is, even if you do use your own Vimeo or YouTube link, we can still produce the MP4 downloadable file for your customer, so they can actually get the source file and use it wherever else they need to. But again, you have those upload options there. So under the 3D tours, pretty much the same thing. You'll just go ahead and enter in the list of, or the link to your 3D tour here. We support Matterport, obviously, and we support pretty much any other 3D tour provider that's out there. We realize that there's new providers kind of sprouting up, seems like every week. So we support all of those. And still the same thing with branded, unbranded, and visibility here. So you can make sure your MLS version is compliant. Yeah, and then that's pretty much it. So let's jump into the docs and floor plans here. I'm gonna go over to the floor plans tab and show you the interactive floor plan tool. So you can upload your floor plans here. They can, you can source the floor plans from anywhere. This example is one that was sourced from Matterport. But again, you can bring in your floor plans from any source if you want. And then we can create these interactive floor plans by simply dragging and dropping photos onto the floor plan. And so you can move these little dots around. We can change the color of the hotspots here if we want. So pretty easy and straightforward, but you know, we think it's a nice kind of complement to, even if you have a full 3D interactive tour, it's nice to be able to just kind of point out the key points of the house here and have, and let the visitor kind of see those.
Absolutely. This is the way of the future, by the way.
Yeah.
It is.
So, yeah, I mean, it's interesting because you have such a detailed, you have all these technologies that are just very detailed 3D walkthroughs, and you can see every component of the house. But you know, you take it a step back and kind of dumb it down, I guess, and you can have just a focused kind of presentation of the house with something like this. And then, of course, if you don't have the 3D tour for this particular listing, this is also, you know, a great alternative and low cost alternative to producing a 3D tour if that's not on the list for services for that specific listing. So
those are 2D photographs, right?
Yeah, these are 2D photographs right now. We are actually going to be updating this upcoming in summer, where you'll be able to drop in video along with like a 360
a panorama
to just add a little bit more kind of interactivity and depth to this feature here.
Yeah. Once you add the capability to put the 3D panos and video on a floor plan, that then becomes what some people call a virtual tour, right?
Yeah, it does.
But this is the way that photos are going to be displayed in the future. You know how they have the film strip right now, where it's like a long listing of photos. Mm-hmm. That's going to go away, and this is going to be the way photography is displayed. Because, like, when I go to a house and I see a picture of a bathroom, I'm like, "This is a pretty bathroom," but I have no clue where that bathroom is in the house, right?
Right.
So this tells you. This gives you way more information. Perfect.
Yeah, it definitely gives you some better context in terms of what you're looking at. And of course, you can do multiple floors. We've seen some of our customers even use not necessarily a floor plan, but you can upload an image of, you know, any type of schematic or layout of a building or a house, and then put these hotspots in there to, you know, still give that kind of interactive experience. We'll head over to the documents section. This is pretty straightforward. You can upload documents. You can typically the agent would be uploading these because they're documents that potential buyers would need to download when they visit the website. They can review additional information that way. So, all right, let's jump over to the themes section. This is where you're going to choose your template. You can pick your template and change it at any time. Whenever you choose a template, there's no additional steps required in terms of, what any like additional configuration steps. Everything will just lay out the way that it should. So really quick and easy to do that. We've got a nice little preview here. And you can set templates, default templates for particular agents so that that template's assigned each time. You've got your custom attribution footer here. So that will help with SEO for you as real estate photographer when agents are sending traffic to this website, and those visitors are like, wow, this is great looking media who did this, and they can link back to your site. You do have the option to turn that off though, if you wanted to turn it off on this particular property. So some flexibility there.
So I have some questions.
Yeah.
Okay. So you said that sometimes you remove some templates as you add new ones. What if I have a website out there that uses one of those old templates? That shouldn't matter, right?
No, that won't matter. It basically only applies to
the choices you can make.
Well, if you're an existing customer and you've been using that template, you would still have access to that template. It really just would apply to new customers who've never used that template. They wouldn't see it. So like some of these in here actually are pretty old, and like one of the first few templates that we made, and they're not necessarily available to like brand new customers because we've removed them. But we do that because we want to keep the selection fresh. We want to make sure that whatever you're putting out there, looks up to date and looks like it was built this year instead of a couple of years ago, kind of thing. And we usually keep our selection in the 18 to 20 template option range, right? We've learned that offering more than that, like offering 30 templates, ends up in situations where either photographer or the agent just kind of are overloaded with too many options and too many decisions to make, right?
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Okay, so what if I've designed a website with a template and I decide, I don't know, 2 days later, I don't really like that template. I want to change.
Yeah, you can change it at any time. So we can just come in here and choose the template that we want.
And it knows to rearrange all the data, right?
Yeah,
okay.
It knows to rearrange all of the data to, into the correct spots on that template. And then, of course, if you don't upload, let's say a 3D tour or a floor plan, that section isn't just going to look like it's empty. The system and the template will know that, that it needs to adjust itself accordingly just to exclude that section entirely. So it doesn't look like, you kind of made it 80% through the process and stopped. It'll, the template will still look good at just the bare minimum with just photos. So, it'll look great with just photos. And of course, if you have the additional media like the videos and 3D tours, then you can certainly upload that to kind of add some enhanced interactivity and presentation there. So, and I should mention, as we're going through this, on the white labeled photographer plan, you have the ability to give agents access to edit the properties that they're assigned to, right? So, all of these items in here and everything that we've gone through, if you've given them edit access, the agent themselves will be able to make these changes. You do have some options in terms of limiting what changes they can make and, setting it up so that they can't totally break the site or ruin it. But they'll be able to make enough changes to essentially streamline the workflow. So they're not reaching out to you at 1 a.m. because they need a price adjustment, right?
Yeah.
And that's, super important. And you don't want to deal with that. So they can just log in and do that themselves. Or even if you give them access to, they can make changes or change the template around to suit kind of the look and feel that they want. So it just makes it easy and takes some of the workload off of photographer's shoulders. So let's jump actually into the listing agent section so we can see kind of how that assignment and access works here. So we can add as many listing agents as we want to a property. So obviously, if you've got co-listing agents, you can add them here. We also have some different access settings. So show on property would let them, or would actually display them in the contact section on the property. Edit access would then give them access to this property through their dashboard. So they can make edits and changes and things like that. Let's say in this case, this person here, Blake, is actually the assistant and isn't a listing agent, but he's going to be logging in and making changes and handling all of the busy work. We can actually remove show on property and just give him edit access. So he only has access to the back end, but he doesn't show up on the actual property website as a listing agent. So that's used, I guess the most common use case would be just for assistants or marketing coordinators that need access, and they can handle all of this stuff on behalf of the listing agents there. So you can see that agent's not showing in this contact section, but they'll have access to the back end.
That website looks really good, by the way.
Thanks. Yeah. And all of our websites are mobile compatible. This is kind of what it looks like on mobile, but they load fast, they're efficient, look good on all different devices. So yeah, once we've got our listed agents and we've got everything set up the way that we want, we can notify the agents and just send an email through here. You can customize these messages so that it has the content in there each time, so you don't have to retype it, and that will send them the appropriate links and login links to get in and download their media, make changes to the website if they need to, and handle all of that. And we've got a mail log, so you can see when the emails were sent, if they've opened them, if they bounce for some reason. So you have some kind of accountability tracking there on the communication. So let's quickly go through some of these other features here. We've got the ability to set up open houses or schedule open houses, so those display on the website. The agents are typically going to be the ones doing this. If you give them access, they can do virtual open houses, in-person open houses. So, just accommodating the current times in terms of how agents are showing properties, whether it's
right.
Virtually or in person. And they can also enable, tour requests. So someone can come in and actually just schedule a private appointment through the website if you enable that. Of course, we have music. This is pretty straightforward. You can choose to add music or attach music to the website. You can even upload your own music if you wanted to. We have some other tools built in too in terms of lead collection, so that agents, actually feel like they're getting some value out of the property website and they're actually able to produce some leads when they're using the website. This is one example of that. This is a pop-up that you can enable to show at a different event. So if we wanted to do click to view price or exit intent or timed or forced registration, you can enable this, or the agent can enable this. You can also customize what's shown here in the form, so they can collect visitor information. You can change change the photo around. On the domains, this is where, of course, you're going to set up your domain for the property website. On the photographer plan, it's white labeled. So one of the steps when you set up your account is to actually set up your white labeled domain, which will entail you adding a subdomain up to your primary company URL. And that serves as kind of your base URL. That's where your customers will log into. And that will also be the kind of the main URL structure for the default property website URLs. And that will be auto-generated for you based off of the street address, but you can change that. And this comes with every single site that you create, and there's no additional cost to that. Now, of course, you can add a custom domain. So if we wanted to do something more like a vanity URL, you can purchase those directly from Rela. And when you do that, we basically handle all of the DNS configuration for you, and you just kind of set it and forget it, and really kind of hassle-free.
Nice.
Yeah, so it's just 2 clicks and then you're done. So you click continue, and then it'll start the process. If you or the agent though have purchased a domain from GoDaddy or somewhere else, you can add that here. There's no additional cost to do that. The only difference is you're going to be required to set up the DNS on your side. So 2 options on those domains. You can also order sign writers. So if you wanted to ship a sign writer out to your agent, you can do that. We've got QR codes, and you can really kind of fully customize these here. So if we wanted to maybe set this to dark text, and then we can remove the background, so you can get as creative as you want. Order prints and send them directly to your agent. And then we've got a few other settings here just for advanced tracking, lead distribution, things like that, which again, probably the agent would set up here, but just some more tracking and the ability to forward leads in to other recipients, mainly used for like syncing to our CRM. And you can also password protect this. So if the agent wanted to have it reviewed before they actually go live with it, you can put a password in there. So that's about it for actually setting up the property website. It goes really quick. Once you've done it once or twice, it should take just a couple of minutes. What we're looking at here is the property overview, where we've got our quick access to everything that we'll need. And the agent, when they get the invite link to come to the platform, once you've let them know that their new property website is ready, they'll have access to this dashboard, and they can quickly get the branded and unbranded URLs. They can get access to the links to the external media that we've added in here, videos they can download or embed. And then of course they can access their photos here. We also have any leads that are submitted through the property website will show here. The agents will also receive an email notifying them that they have a new lead. So this is just a very basic CRM that they can use to track those incoming leads. And then we've got detailed analytics to show the agent any traffic or visitors that have been coming to the website. We'll show the location of those visitors, any referring websites, new visitors returning, and then you can set up, or the agent can set up reporting so that they'll receive an email on either an automated schedule. You can set, like, let's say we wanted to do every week, and we'll start it on Friday, and then you can add a list of recipients in here, or you can send it on demand if they just want to see the report right now. So
it's cool. It's smart. Your product is smart.
Thank you. We try to make it smart. Again, with a focus on kind of ease of use from the back end for photographers and for agents. We realize that no one wants to be spending a ton of their time, in the dashboard of any platform. They should be out either shooting photos and producing media, or for the agents, they should be out, getting new listings and selling real estate. So we're always keeping that in mind when we're adding features and widgets to the dashboard, just to make sure that it's easy. So one more thing regarding the property websites, I'm going to jump into the Brochures tool. So this is actually, again, a really handy tool for photographers. There's no additional cost for this. You can create as many documents, brochures, flyers, postcards, whatever you want per property. But it takes just a couple of clicks to set one of these up. So we can choose from our templates here, and let's use this design. When you do that, it will pull in all of the property specific information for you right away. And so you've got all of our photos, details, address, URL, everything specific to the property. And of course, you can come in here and change all of this as needed. So if you wanted to just come in and customize it, make some changes, we can do that. We can go through the different pages here. And so a lot of flexibility here to really kind of customize this, but at the same time, you can kind of just use the default template settings and deliver this to the agent. You even have the ability, let's say you went ahead and like fully customized everything in here, and this particular agent always needs this color for the main font there, and always, wants this line over here. And you don't want to have to do that each time. You create this for an agent or for that particular agent. You can actually save these as a template and then assign it to a particular agent with all of those customizations intact. And now let's take a look at this one here.
Mm-hmm. Cool.
We can now reuse this for that particular agent, and we don't have to go through each of those steps again to customize it. And you can assign it to multiple agents. You can assign it to teams. So, those are always available. So a lot of different customization options with this tool. And you can download this as just a high resolution PDF if you wanted to, and send that off to your favorite local printer. Or you can order prints actually directly from us.
Oh.
We have a variety of cardstocks, paperweights, finishes, quantities, things like that. And in terms of pricing, we compete with any major printing companies out there. And so you can actually ship these directly to your customer, white labeled. We offer free 2 business day delivery. So that's basically 1 day for production, 1 day for shipping, anywhere in North America. So
wow.
Canada and the United States. Yeah. So, that kind of covers it for the actual property website side of it. How much time we got left here?
However much you need. I have a question for you though.
Sure.
Okay. So there are other companies out there that do similar things. So what makes you different from them?
Well, the majority of customers that come to us from those different companies, the overwhelming feedback is that the quality of the designs and, basically the final deliverables to their agents are top notch and really, a step above what some of those other platforms offer. And overall, their agents are much happier with the final result. We hear a lot of times from other platforms when we have new photographers, asking or considering moving to Rela. We often hear that, their agents don't use the property websites. And our response is, well, if you move to Rela, they actually will use the property websites. And we actually have seen that from our data, where, they'll move from a platform that maybe doesn't have a lot of template options, or, as in terms of design, that not the same quality that Rela provides. And we'll actually see that adoption rate for the property websites, steadily kind of grow as after the transition happens. Just because, at the end of the day, our focus is to make sure that what the agents are receiving and using to market their listings is top notch, that they won't be able to find anything out there in terms of the design quality, the uniqueness of the design, and really, provides them the tool that helps them stand out and help them generate more business. And so I think that's the main differentiator that you'll see right away. Beyond that, we have a really strong focus from our team to be continually evolving the platform. So what you see today is not the same in terms of what we had for features and tools and things like that, even let's say in January. It's totally different than what it was when we launched. But again, our team is used to that pace where we're constantly developing, constantly adding, constantly improving, so that we can provide the best value to our customers. So I think that's going to be a differentiator between Rela and some of the other platforms that are out there, just in terms of the pace of development, the willingness from our side to actually listen to customers and take feature requests seriously and actually implement those. And again, a lot of the stuff that we've seen, that we've demoed is in there as a result of us listening to our customers and, feature requests from our customers. Because we realized, we can, think we're smart enough and come up with some great ideas, but that's not going to cover the thousands of customers out there that are using this on a daily basis that really have real life, use cases for a specific feature. And so, you know, those I think are the two strongest differentiators between us and other platforms. You know, and I realize that we may be at the top of the kind of list in terms of cost in some cases compared to some of those other platforms. You know, but at the end of the day, we're confident in where we price our plans at because we know that what we're delivering is going to be top notch in the industry there. So yeah.
Right. So the two big ones for me are listening to your customers, because I know a few companies out there who just sit in their bubble and implement whatever they want, right?
Yeah.
And not what, I mean, it's like when my kids were young and I'm like, we're going to a birthday party, what gift do you want to buy? And they would pick something they want. I'm like, no. It's about what does the person receiving the gift want?
Right.
So that's key. And then there's so much artistry and science behind creating these templates, which makes a huge difference. I mean, your templates are simple. The information is already populated for you, which is nice. There's like motion as well. Some of the pictures are sliding in. I mean, it just looks good and it's very impressive. So good job.
Thank you. Yeah. I mean, again, I've mentioned this already, but our initial goal when we launched this was to provide a template that looked like this to an agent. But, you know, it didn't cost them $3,000 to build with it, you know, in weeks and weeks of dealing with a marketing company. They literally put this together in a couple minutes, right? And so, yeah, we've got, you know, a ton of different options to choose from. We also have the ability to create custom website templates too. We get that request a lot from photographers where maybe an agency or a brokerage has some pretty specific design requirements where they just want something unique. And our team can whip up a custom template for you and make, you know, obviously that's exclusive to your account. So we have that flexibility there. But we always suggest, because we get that request a lot, but we always respond and say, hey, give your agents an opportunity to use some of the templates that we have. And then, you know, if there's still want a custom template from there, let us know. We're happy to do it. But I think in most cases, we provide enough variety in terms of the templates that we have so that, you know, it satisfies kind of the spectrum of styles and different design tastes from all different agents. So, yeah.
Website design is hard.
Yeah, it's meant to look easy, but yeah, it's pretty kind of grinding in terms of the creative side, the technical side, ensuring that, you know, especially with templates like this, ensuring that everything will look fine if you don't include a piece of content. Like if you don't include a floor plan, maybe, you know, the template's still got to look good. So it's a lot that goes into it, and our design team is great, and so yeah.
Cool.
Okay.
Great.
So
keep going.
We've got the next feature in here, which is the storefront. And this is fairly new. I think maybe a year and a half ago, we released it. We were on another podcast maybe 3 years ago. And at that time they were asking about the booking and billing feature. And I think that I said, yeah, it'll be ready in 2 weeks. And we were close. I thought it was going to be ready. I wasn't just, you know, I wasn't lying, but we got to the point where we were considering releasing it and we realized that there's so much more that we needed to cover. And it actually took us probably another 18 months from that point to get to a full stable release of this, because there's so much that goes into a booking and billing platform. And we built it specifically for real estate photographers. So we wanted to solve a lot of the pain points that existed out there. And a lot of the issues that we saw in doing research in terms of some of the existing platforms that that photographers were using for their booking and billing. And so obviously we got to a point where we felt like we covered as much as we could, and we've released it. So yeah, this has been live for about a year and a half. I've got a lot of our customers that are using this. And so again, we've built this specifically for real estate photographers, and I'll just point to some of the features here that will highlight that. Starting with the way that you price out your products. One of the problems we saw when we were looking at competing booking systems was that real estate photographers were listing out the same product or service 6 times. The only difference was the variation in price and home size. So we wanted to solve that first, right? Because the more options an agent has to choose from, or anyone has to choose from in an e-commerce situation, the less likelihood that they're going to actually complete the order. So what we've done is we've put in the ability to price out your products and services based on the size of the home. You can customize the size ranges that you want to include, and then you can add the appropriate pricing for that size home. Like for photography, for example, you're going to charge more in most cases to shoot a 4,500 square foot house than you would, 1,500 square foot studio. And so you can also set the timing that it takes on that same size range there. And you can do things like add sales tax and all of that, right? So now when we view the actual order form, it will only show the price for this service for the size of that home, so the appropriate price. There won't be an overload of options for agents to choose from. But you can also, yeah. And again, that was one of the first things we wanted to solve, because it creates a better user experience when we have it set up like that. And we'll look at a sample order form so we can see what we're talking about there. The other thing is we've added the ability to do quantity pricing. So virtual staging is a great example for that. You can set different prices at different quantities here, and the agents can choose from that drop down list. And then of course you can do just your straight flat fee pricing, your typical pricing there. We also have the ability to set packages, so you can add products into a package, create a package. You can apply different discounts for those packages just to incentivize the customer to actually choose that package. You have a bunch of different options in terms of how you want to discount it. So you can do fixed price, so we can get into kind of nice even numbers for that. Or we can do a percent discount, dollar amount discount, or even if you just didn't want to do a discount, you can do no discount. We can add as many products in here as we want, and it's really flexible. So, and you can add as many packages as you want as well. We've got promo codes, of course. This is pretty straightforward in terms of standard e-commerce promo codes. You can either apply it to specific products if those exist in their order. You can have that discount trigger, or you can do it to the entire order so that if they use that code, they get that discount. And then pricing rules. If you want to set up custom pricing for specific agents or teams or brokerages, you can do that. So let's say, you kind of strike a deal with a particular agent or team and said, if you use me as your primary photographer, I'll give you 10% off everything, right? And so you can set that up here just to honor that custom pricing there.
That's cool. Then, that's a great system. Yeah, I like that.
And we're expanding this feature actually to be even kind of more robust in terms of your ability to set up really a custom order form with custom products and everything. In case you do a deal with a large brokerage and you're going to offer just 2 packages and they don't need to see anything else that you offer to normal customers, you'll have the ability to set that up. That's coming this summer. We'll have those updates in place here. We have, let's jump into the schedule settings just to kind of show the options here. We have the real-time availability, where you can connect to your calendars and you can add the different shooters that you work with to be available in that calendar. And then a customer can come in and choose, the exact time, and that's going to find, the real-time availability for all of your shooters and, show those options accordingly. You can do manual priority if we have this manually set, or you can even do closest proximity. So that would find their actual geolocation to the shoot and would choose the photographer that's closest. And we've got a bunch of different options in here just to kind of give you flexibility. If you don't like real-time pricing and you would rather have your booking manager or booking coordinator actually confirm, your team's availability after the order's been submitted, and then reply with, the time that that you can confirm it, you can actually switch it to that. And so that's kind of a more simplified version of the booking calendar, where the agent can choose a requested day and time of day, like a range of the day, so morning, midday, afternoon, and then that's sent to the admin, and then you can kind of manually set those assignments and confirm the time from there. So you have both options to choose from here. So of course you can add as many staff members as you need to. You've got some options in terms of their access levels. So like a full support account, they'll be able to access all of your agents and listings. Limited access would only be able to access the listings and booking assignments that they're assigned to. We've got email settings. You can customize all of the emails that go out through the system. You can set these templates up. We've got a whole list of emails in here. This is the preview, obviously, and you can customize these however you want. You can preview them. We've even got some scheduled reminders that can go out automatically based off of different rules. So shoot date reminders to your agent, to your staff, invoice reminders as well. And you can basically set these up however you'd like. So if you want to go, 1 day before the shoot, 10 minutes before the shoot, just to make sure everyone's on the same page for scheduling there. Payment settings, we connect to Stripe currently. So you just connect your Stripe account and all of those transactions go directly into your account when they're paid for. So this is our dashboard. We've just got, outstanding invoices, new orders that need our attention, upcoming appointments, quick stats for this month compared to last month. We've got a calendar that we can see all of our teams' availability and assignments, where we can also even see the external events for a particular team member here. And we can see the actual booked events in the system. We can filter by staff. So we've got a lot of different options in here. And then just our assignments, anything that's been assigned. So actually, let me jump into an order form and we'll see how that works. So once an order is submitted, this is what the admin will see in terms of managing the order. See all of the items that they've put into this order here. Of course, you can make changes at any time if you need to add products, custom line items, promo codes, whatever you want after the order's been submitted. You can assign different team members to an order. You can even break this out if you wanted to on a per line item basis and assign different team members to different jobs on the order. So if we've got a guy or gal that does our 3D walkthroughs exclusively and someone else is doing our photography, then we can assign those accordingly. So, and then basically once you've produced the media, you can start uploading your content here and then deliver that to the agent when it's ready. This is where we would set up our invoices. So if we wanted to collect the full invoice, you can do partial payments if you wanted to. So you can split payments or do multiple invoices as needed. And you can send this invoice off to the customer. This is important here. This is one of the major kind of pain points that we sought to solve when we first launched this. And this is the locking downloads until payments. So you can essentially choose which items, which media components you want to be locked, meaning the customer, the agent can't download the final versions of those until this invoice has been paid. So this solves that problem of chasing invoices and trying to get paid on time.
Yep.
And the system politely handles this for you, which makes it a lot less stressful compared to, having to text or call your agent and say, hey, where's my money? You have your photos, so the system basically locks us down. The agent can still preview everything. They can see all of the content they're going to get, but they're not going to be able to download or get any high-res versions or any usable versions of the media that you've produced for them until they've paid, that invoice.
Yep. Photographers don't want to be chasing down money and they don't want to spend time scheduling. So this is terrific. Mm-hmm.
And nobody does. I mean, it's very stressful to be chasing after an outstanding invoice. And, it's even stressful as the customer to be late on an invoice, right? And have someone be reaching out to you, telling you to pay. But I think in this case, as the agent, maybe you forgot to make that payment, but you come to the system, and again, the system politely lets you know that, hey, there's an outstanding balance here. Click here to pay and unlock it, and it's just handled seamlessly that way.
Yeah.
So make it really easy. Just while we're here, we've got our agent that submitted the order. You can assign a billing contact. So if there's someone, that handles their kind of billing and invoicing, they can have access to this order as well. You can add other editors, uploaders, vendors to this order that are on your team. So if they need to be uploading content that's been edited, they'll have access to this. And then we've got a mail log, so you can, track the communication history for this particular order. We can see, when it's been opened, delivered, all of that. Just in case you get an agent that says, I never got that email. Oh, it looks like you opened it yesterday at 9 a.m. So we try to cover a lot in terms of workflow just from this single page, and you can kind of handle from start to finish.
Yeah, it's nice.
Everything
it's
that you need.
Laid out very well as well. Mm-hmm.
Thank you. Yeah. So let's actually take a look at it's what a sample order form looks like here. So this is the order page that you can set up, and you can customize this page in just a very simple kind of site builder, point and click, drag and drop, and you can customize all of this content here, change the photos, colors. So you can add different sections in here. This is a really kind of slimmed down version, but you can add, text and other things in here if you need to. So really the orders process starts out, the address in, we'll actually go and find the actual square footage from the public records, and we save that to the order. But you saw this property size actually automatically changed because in our case, we have some services that are based on property size. And then we've got some custom questions here, which you can customize and add as many questions as you need to. So if you want to ask for lockbox combinations, who's going to be on site, you have the ability to choose the different formats. So you can do multiple choice, you can do just open text fields like this, make it required or not required. So a lot of flexibility there. Then we go, next step will be the services, where we can choose from packages or we can choose from a la carte. We've got an example of our quantity option here. This service, remember, was priced out based on the size of the home. So this would show differently if we had a different size home. And again, eliminating the need to just have this listed out a bunch of times with just the variation in price. And so we'll go ahead and choose the silver package. It'll take us into the a la carte options where we can add additional services to our packages as needed. Then we'll jump over to the scheduling, and we can choose.
Now, it's going to know how long the shoot will take based on what you chose, right?
Correct. It'll know that this shoot is going to take 4 or 5 hours or whatever you set into this service timing for each of your products. And you can also have the ability to even choose an override timing for packages. So if you know that if you're shooting this package, you can get it done, in half the time, just because it's the most efficient way to, produce and shoot. You can actually override it there. But yeah, the system will know how long that shoot's going to take, and it'll show the availability. Now, if we have multiple photographers that are included in this booking calendar, it will show, it's still just going to show this timing selection, but these time slots may be different. They may be different photographers assigned when you choose them. It's just going to find the most available photographer at this point. So that photographer would be booked when we pick that. And then, they come through here, and I'm going to enter in a customer that is already a customer. So the system can detect that they're an existing customer. It'll just say, hey, enter your password in. And if they are a new customer, they'll just skip over to the review screen. We don't ask them for registration or anything until they've placed the order. They'll receive the registration instructions. again, the idea behind this whole order workflow is to get the agent from start to finish with as little friction as possible. Because every little bit of friction that you
Yep.
add or decision that you require them to make
Yep.
kind of decreases the probability that they're gonna get through the entire order. So we wanted to make that as seamless as possible. So once they've clicked place order, of course, they can review and change anything as needed. But once they click place order, the admin receives an email, they'll receive their email, and you kind of kick off that process. So yeah, very straightforward. The order form works on mobile, so they can place it on the go. If the agent's logged into their account, they'll actually be able to place the order just from their dashboard as well. So, and then of course the agent will have full visibility into their billing and order history and status of all the jobs that they've submitted and things like that, and just keeping the lines of communication open in that sense. So, yeah, that's about it for the scheduling side. Now, the scheduling component is a different add-on to the primary photographer plan. It's not required. You can use just the single property website platform and delivery platform without the storefront feature here. Mm-hmm. But this is nice because it just kind of it keeps the workflow in one place from start to finish, from the point that someone places an order all the way through the point that you're delivering and are needing payment, right? And so for any existing customers in Rela, you can actually start a free trial of the storefront at any time. So if you want to test it out, you can do that. Even new customers, if you sign up for the primary photographer platform and you want to get that set up first and then maybe start the trial on the free trial on the storefront, you can do that at any time. So yeah.
Yep. Nice. Very nice. I like that. Cool. So if you want more information, the website is Rela HQ. So that's RELAHQ.com. Yep.
And over to the photographer's page if you want more details. You can really sign up anywhere just by clicking Get Started or Free Trial. Mm-hmm. And when you kind of go through the sign up process, just make sure you choose that you're a photographer. The system will ask you that, and that'll put you into the photographer trial plan, which is 2 weeks, no credit card required. We give you a handful of free property website credits that you can use to test it out and set up some demo properties and get your account set up. And then if you have any questions or need help with anything, our live chat is available from about 8 a.m. Pacific to 9 p.m. Pacific. So all day at high availability, but we're also always monitoring. So if it's outside of those times, we'll definitely get back to you. So yeah.
Yeah, great product. So if you haven't checked them out yet, check them out. RelaHQ.com, RELAHQ.com. I love it. You've gotten rave reviews, so.
Well, thanks. We love hearing feedback and those positive reviews from our customers. Again, the customers are our primary focus, and we love talking with everybody every day and helping improve the platform and add more value to what we're offering, so that you guys as real estate photographers can add more value to your customers.
Exactly. So. Yep. Cool. All right. I've learned a lot today. I hope you have too. Thank you so much, Mike, for joining me. It's a great product, really. And you have a great background. You're very impressive. So.
Well, thanks.
All right, everyone. It's been nice. Thanks for joining us at Capture the World with Dee. I will see you again in 2 weeks. Take care, everyone. Bye-bye.